Man, what's the way to do this? This wire's there too. Whatever. I'm just going to step.
Hello everyone, how are you doing today? Welcome to Debates Day 2. Thank you all so much for being here today.
Yeah, I'm starting today with a quick land acknowledgement. I find SJSU respectfully acknowledges that SJSU is located on traditional land of the Mwekma Ohlone people. If you want to learn more about this, please visit mwekma.org. With that, welcome to Debates Day 2 again. We'll be live streaming, of course, the entirety of the debates on our YouTube channel for members to see who are not here to be able to learn about our candidates' platforms. For today's debates, please make sure that your phones are silenced. Be respectful of our candidates, and please hold your applause for the end of the position until the end of the position debate is completed. Please do not have open food or drink while up on the stage, and please speak loudly, as today we do not have mics, so it'll be harder to hear. So please make sure you are speaking loudly and clearly. With that, during your debate period, you'll be asked a series of questions. Each question has an allotted time for you to respond. Brent will be the timekeeper. Again, we'll have cards indicating how much time you have left to answer your question. If the question is 30 seconds, you'll get one time warning at 10 seconds. If the question lasts 1 minute, you'll get two time warnings, one at 30 seconds and one at 10 seconds. At the end of your time, Brent will say time. Once he says this, please wrap up your thoughts. This does not mean you have to end your sentence right there. Please finish off the sentence that you were saying, and then you may end your speaking time for that question. The time starts once you begin answering the question, and you are welcome to ask for one repeat of the question.
Yes, the order for today will go as follows. We'll start with social, then cultural, then COPO, then followed by the secretary, and finally with the president candidates. And then a 5-minute break will take place after the COPO chair ended. Yes, so if I could have our social candidates come to the front. The speakers will go as follows. We will begin with Sydney and then with Nico. For each question, we will rotate such that the next speaker in line will speak first for the following question. And remember, please do answer to the best of your ability. Do you need any clarification on the instructions? Okay. If not, yes. And when you speak, please do step up just a little bit. And when you're done, you can step back. And please also make sure that you're seen on the screen right here. Yes, thank you for adjusting. With that, we'll begin the debate for the social chair now. Please do introduce yourself with your name, pronouns, year, and major. Starting with Sydney.
Hi everyone, my name is Sydney Camquet. I go by she, her pronouns. I am a first-year advertising major with a concentration in marketing and mass communications.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Nico Reese. I'm a first-year sociology student, and I go by he, her pronouns.
All right, thank you. For the first question, we will begin with Sydney. Answer in 30 seconds. Do you believe Friendship Games is the most important event to execute for the social chair position? Why or why not?
I do believe Friendship Games is a vital event not only for social chair but for Akbayan as a whole. Though I don't regard it as the most important event. I think all of the events as a social chair, be engaging with them. They all have their own importance for different communities and for aligning with different people.
No, I do not believe that Friendship Games is the most important event that a social chair should be in charge of. Although it is one of the most important events, we have to take account for the people that cannot attend the event. Coming from experience going to FG, it was such a fun experience for me, but knowing that the people who missed out were really upset, it felt like they missed their opportunity to really live out that social aspect. I think it's important that we hold events that can make up for that redemption that they missed at Friendship Games, whether that's fixers, events, socials, workshops, etc. But no, I do not think it is the most important.
Time.
Thank you. For the next question, we'll begin with Nico. Answer in 30 seconds. Friendship Games is a big event that occurs in the fall semester, and many members leave once it's over. How would you keep members in the overall social chair position active in the spring?
I think when it comes to Akbayan as a community, everyone has a why reason to why they continue showing up to these events. I think that it can start with me, but my goal as if elected as social chair is to give off the energy that I want them to showcase the future members. I want to connect with the people that participate in friendship games and want them to connect with another person that may want to show up, or if you to show up after going to FG and show up again to the future events.
As someone that didn't get to go to FG, I also saw that there were other opportunities to be able to make bonds and connections with other people throughout the program, throughout spring semester. And if I were elected as social chair, I would also advertise and also mention and not only consistently promote these events, but showcase that there are other events that Akbayan members can go to, such as PCN and also joining in the camp programs.
Thank you. For the next question, we'll begin with Sydney. Answer in 30 seconds. What are the ways in which you would advocate for and uphold Akbayan's inclusivity and welcoming spaces outside of your own workshops and events?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yes. Answer in 30 seconds. What are the ways in which you would advocate for and uphold Akbayan's inclusivity and welcoming spaces outside of your own workshops and events?
I think it's important not only as social chair, but also as a CAB member and Akbayan member first and foremost, that showing consistent support for other people and other programs within Akbayan and promoting them in a kind-hearted way to show that you are always behind them, that you're always there to support them, and showing that you as a person, as a leader, can consistently do that.
May you please repeat the question?
Yes. Answer in 30 seconds. What are the ways in which you would advocate for and uphold Akbayan's inclusivity and welcoming spaces outside of your own workshops and events?
If it is outside of my own workshops, I would simply show up for my former cabinet members, whether that's an academic workshop, cultural workshop, COPO. I want to show up and do my part in communicating with the people that are there so that they feel welcome. Especially if I'm not in charge of the event, that's my opportunity to talk to the members, while my former cabinet members are in charge of being in charge of the event and really building that bond with all the members there, so they have that why reason yet again to come back to the future events.
Thank you. For the next question, we'll begin with Nico. Answer in 1 minute. Triforce is an alliance that was formed during Friendship Games to connect Filipinx American organizations in the Bay Area. As Friendship Games is also a competitive event, how do you plan to strengthen bonds within Triforce to create a supportive environment?
Going to FG, I think one of my favorite aspects was being able to connect with 2 other schools. And for those that don't know, Triforce is East Bay and SF State. I think that it's really important that we have events before leading up to FG so that we have an in-person opportunity to bond with the members that we are going to be seeing at FG. One of my goals, if elected, would be a win for them is a win for us, and a win for them is a win a win for us is a win for them as well. We have the privilege to be connected with a community so strong and big with them. And I think maybe instead of hosting one event before FG, maybe hosting 2. One in SF, one in San Jose. Because I will say that this year, although we did have an event, there was a lack of participation besides putting aside core members and cabinet members. So hosting 2 events where we can bond with the community would be a good opportunity to feel more comfortable to approach them at Friendship Games.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yes. Answer in 1 minute. Triforce is an alliance that was formed during Friendship Games to connect Filipinx American organizations in the Bay Area. As Friendship Games is also a competitive event, how do you plan to strengthen bonds within Triforce to create a supportive environment?
I think connecting with smaller but still vital workshops and events where there are more than enough opportunities to connect Triforce as a whole would be a goal of mine. I understand as a person that wasn't able to go to FG, that if there were more events that I could have gone to, that I could have attended with my own schedule and with other people's schedule in the line, that Triforce me meeting people from Triforce could have happened. I do think intertwining that before FG occurs would be a strengthening point. Also, being able to gather that connection prior to FG and having a stronger bond at FG would be a goal of mine.
Thank you. For the next question, we will begin with Sydney. Answer in 30 seconds. Akbayan is a cultural organization. How do you plan to incorporate more of our culture into social events?
Growing up, I didn't get to live in a community that thrived in Filipino culture. I have been consistently trying to learn, and from what I have been learning already, I want to implement more ideas in social chair and in social court to be able to interact with our cultural heritage. I would do my best to align workshops with our cultural chair and influence more of our social activities to include the Filipino culture.
May I repeat the question, please?
Yes. Answer in 30 seconds. Akbayan is a cultural organization. How do you plan to incorporate more of our culture into social events?
I think first and foremost, I want to collaborate with the cultural chair when hosting workshops or social events, because I think that with both of our focus areas, we are able to bring people who want to learn more about their culture, share their culture, and then on the social chair aspect, bring in people who want to socialize and make these relationships. I think one example as social chair myself, if elected, is using those chants that use the Filipino side, like Sinabayan, Akbayan, like it really is those small moments where you realize that you're touching your culture, even if it's just as simple as saying one word.
Thank you. Next, we will begin with Nico. Answer in 1 minute. The social chair position comes with a lot of traditional events, such as AK Spoons, Super Smash Bros, Open Floor, and Winter Formal. To what extent do you plan on upholding the traditions, and what are any new events you would like to see within a potential term?
May you repeat the question, please?
Yes. Answer in 1 minute. The social chair comes with a lot of traditional events, such as AK Spoons, Super Smash Bros, Open Floor, and Winter Formal. To what extent do you plan on upholding these traditions, and what are new events you would like to see within this potential term?
In terms of keeping traditions alive, I think it comes in terms of promotions and, again, the connections that you make with people. Starting off with friendship games or any event in the fall semester, talking to people like, oh, I hope to see you again at AK Spoons, I hope to see you again at PCN, I hope to see you at Winter Formal. You don't realize that those one-on-one conversations really hit someone in their heart and be like, wow, like someone wants to be back again. One event I would want to incorporate is AK Dodgeball. I think that a lot of people maybe don't participate in AK basketball because that's kind of a sport where you're good at or you're not. But I think AK Dodgeball would be a good chance for anyone to participate in and still enjoy it, whether they win or lose. But maybe that's a personal preference, but I want to follow my heart and show the community what I also love doing as well.
Could you repeat the question?
Yes. Answer in 1 minute. The social chair position comes with a lot of traditional events such as AK Spoons, Super Smash Bros, Open Floor, and Winter Formal. To what extent do you plan on upholding these traditions, and what are new events you would like to see within this potential term?
I am all for traditions, and if anything, I would love to continue implementing these events in Akbayan. I'm also someone that likes to think out of the box and would like to incorporate even smaller workshops, or not even small in the sense of quantity, but small in the sense of using it in a shorter sense. I think having more workshops that can align with other people, knowing that we are all students at first, and knowing that all of us have different schedules, I would love to see more people be active and know that they have a chance to attend certain events. I'd also like to see that these traditions continue to be upheld. I know that a couple of them weren't this semester, but knowing that I have the chance, as if I'm elected as social chair, that I could revive them with the help of social work.
Thank you. For the next question, we'll start with Sydney. Answer in 30 seconds. Friendship Games is a large and highly anticipated event for the social chair and its members. With the possibility of there being no FG, how do you plan to compensate for this event?
There has been a moment in time where we did not go to FG. There was a moment where our social chair had to think about a new idea, and that was having Akbayan's own FG, having our own games on our lawn, and I think possibly aligning with Triforce and having our own event at the beginning of the semester is something that could take over that reminiscent feeling of having FG and still having our own way to bond with each other.
Can you repeat the question?
Answer in 30 seconds. Friendship Games is a large and highly anticipated event for the social chair and its members. With the possibility of there being no FG, how do you plan to compensate for this event?
100% would I like to collaborate with the Triforce. I think that if there is no FG, there is an opportunity for Triforce to really bond as a whole because that would be the only people we can bond with for 1 year. I think that something like recreating FG would be a good idea, but at the same time, that is our opportunity to go big or go home because in the sense that there is an FG back again, this is the next year could be the year for trial and error. Do something that has been spontaneous, but we've been wanting to keep safe for a while. And so I would just try to think outside of the box, whatever that may be elected.
Thank you. For the next question, we'll begin with Nico. Answer in 30 seconds. What does social mean to you?
To me, social means the people. Including all the other pillars, I don't think that we could do anything without the people. I think that when you deep down into social and people, it is the relationships that you make with everyone. I'm here because there have been multiple people that have touched my heart and given me the courage to be here right now. Social means the people to me because I want to give that feeling to others and I want them to want to reflect that feeling to other people. Whether that's people who didn't get that feeling now or the people that are coming in next semester or next year.
To be social is a challenge to be able to connect through communication. It's the idea that whether it's nonverbal or verbal, whether it's physical or mental, it is an interaction between people that are trying to create bonds. If I were not social, if I were not someone that was looking to make bonds or had the intention in the first place, I would not be here.
Thank you. For the next one, we'll start with Sydney. Answer in 1 minute. Why do you believe that social is one of the 4 pillars of our organization?
Much to what Nico has said earlier, it is a founding factor in this organization to be social. If we were not people that wanted to create bonds with each other and wanted to interact, then there would be no Akbayan to begin with. It is important that we recognize that being social is not only the foundation of Akbayan, but it's also the foundation of creating bonds and creating trust and overall creating respect for each other. We would not be in these positions if we did not want to have a reason to come here. Overall, social is just a way of being passionate and loving each other in that sense.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yes. Answer in 1 minute. Why do you believe that social is one of the 4 pillars of our organization?
I believe social is one of the 4 pillars of this organization because it is the beginning of so many great things. Coming in as a first year, the first thing I wanted to do was gain a social life. Go to the events that made me make those bonds, meet with people. Then I sat there and said, okay, maybe I want to go include myself in academics, cultural, be in charge, but it starts with social. If there's not a foundation, then we can't build a community. And I think with social, the social pillar allows us to create our own little village within this big community. And I think that is what makes this social pillar so special. There are so many aspects and so many opportunities for any kind of people, whether they're extroverted, introverted, in the middle. There is somewhere in this community that allows them to be able to share their social skills, find their people, find their comfort people because of this social pillar. And I think that is what is so special about this little Next American community and organization. And to me, that is why this is so simple.
Thank you. For the next question, we'll start with Nico. Answer in 30 seconds. Without talking about your position, why do you want to be a cabinet member?
I want to be a cabinet member because I want to be a part of a team. Throughout my time in high school, I had a lot of leadership positions where I learned a lot of things, not just because of my position, but because of the people I work with. I want to help uplift my other leaders within my cabinet, and I feel like being in cabinet is a privilege. And being able to watch my teammates grow and enhance in their own capabilities is what is beautiful about Cabinet, and I want to be a part of that change.
I want to join CAB for the reason, not because of its status or its title, but for the fact that it is composed of people that want to lead and want to not only make changes, but to improve our community. CAB is composed of people that want to represent our voice as a community. It is also the people that I think share the same passion and the same grace that I have for my community and want to therefore indulge more in our culture and in our socials.
Thank you. That does now conclude the social chair's debates. You may now be seated.
We can have our cultural chair candidate come to the front. Do you need any clarification on the instructions?
No.
Okay, with that, we will now begin the debate for the cultural chair position. Please introduce yourself with your name, pronouns, year, and major.
Hello, I'm Jackson Tantioko. I'm a first year data science major, and I go by Peter.
For your first question, answer in 30 seconds. Name one topic you would like to highlight during your term as cultural chair.
If elected in my term as cultural chair, I hope to highlight a lot of the stories of our culture and our people surrounding World War II, as I feel it's a greatly large event that affected all of us. One thing I kind of noted within my campaign is FDR's letter to Congress when December 7th when Pearl Harbor happened, which did not mention that the Philippines was also invaded during that time. So I hope to uplift our voices that were ignored during that time.
Thank you. For your next question, answer in 30 seconds. Knowing that programs are more of the popular aspects of our organization, what is your plan to create a safe and engaging learning environment for our members?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Answer in 30 seconds. Knowing that programs are more of the popular aspects of our organization, what is your plan to create a safe and engaging learning environment for our members?
Although programs is a lot of what brings the community together, culture is what ties it together and defines it. So a lot of it, not just Filipinx culture, but our culture as an organization, how we speak to each other, how we treat each other, and that really defines us as an organization. So I hope to create an environment where people can not only connect with each other, but also feel welcomed, included, as well as see people that come from diverse backgrounds and also familiar ones.
For your next question, you have 30 seconds. Akbayan is promoted as an inclusive organization and accepts anyone even if they are not Filipinx. How do you aim to make those individuals feel included while still educating and promoting Filipinx culture?
Although many of the people within this organization or that will join this organization don't come from Filipinx identity or ethnicity, I feel that it's still important to teach about our culture because that is what really brought us all here together, whether it's the organization or our own identities, and really to share that love that I have for our own culture and history is really a privilege for all members within our community.
Your next question, answer in 30 seconds. Seeing that many events are happening during Filipinx American History Month, such as Friendship Games and Reveal, how will you ensure that the proper preparation is made in a timely manner for Mabuhay to be held during PAM?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yes. Answer in 30 seconds. Seeing that many events are happening during Filipinx American History Month, such as Friendship Games and Reveal, how will you ensure that the proper preparation is made in a timely manner for for Mabuhay to be held during CAM?
Although October is a busy month packed with a lot of events and celebrations within our community, I think that just gives us all the more platform to celebrate our culture and our history within that month, as this month is a time to recognize all that came before us and how we stand on the shoulders that came before us. And really just to make sure of that, just to plan early and just make sure to properly organize our time in order to uplift our voices and celebrate who we are as people.
Thank you. For your next question, you have 1 minute. Identify one workshop that a cultural chair has held. What did you learn from it, and how did it inspire you to pursue this position?
One workshop that I kind of participated in was Unpacking Traditions. This was a workshop surrounding Akbayan boxes and that tradition within the Philippines, how it's maintained and how it's created. So I think just a lot of that mainly helped me love my own culture more, as you know, it's something that a lot of us participate in and a lot of our families participate in. So I think kind of building off of that, if elected, I hope to kind of inspire that love and inspire that like nostalgia that we have towards our own traditions and culture.
Thank you. For your next question, answer in 30 seconds. Name a moment in Philippine history that motivated you to run for this position.
One moment in Filipinx history that inspired me to come here is the cicada farmers within the Hawaiian plantations during the early 1900s, as that is a lot of where my Filipinx American identity comes from and familiar history, as my great-great-grandparents who immigrated there to work are the reason why I'm here today as a citizen. So I think that just really inspired me of how us as Filipinx Americans have love for not only our own culture, but also our time here in America and how we impacted this area.
Thank you. Your next question, answer in 1 minute. Name 2 individuals that you would like on your core and why.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Answer in 1 minute. Name 2 individuals that you would like on your core and why.
One individual that I would like on my core is Dylan Mabunga. As I've seen throughout internship and just sharing my time within these 2 semesters, he really has just a strong love for our community, strong love for our culture, and really knows his history. So I think it would really help me to work alongside him. Another name would be Claudia. As I know that she has strong cultural ties and just personal ties within the Philippines, and hopefully use that knowledge to help me highlight those voices and discover more of what I personally don't know, as I haven't been to the Philippines that much or feel as strong of a tie as she does. So.
Thank you. For your next question, answer in 30 seconds. As cultural chair, what is one way you would like to promote Filipinx culture or history outside of workshops and events?
Other than workshops and events, the cultural chair has a lot of opportunities within its codes, workshops, or programs, as I think a lot of, let's say, PCN or COPO workshops can utilize a lot of the resources that culture chair finds and tries to research. And implementing our culture within, let's say, a program like PCN allows people that have similar backgrounds to us or similar experiences to Filipinx culture, helps us feel recognized and seen among our
Moving on, answer in 30 seconds. How are you connecting your position as cultural chair to your own personal life, values, and experiences?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Answer in 30 seconds. How are you connecting the position as cultural chair to your own personal life, values, and experiences?
Growing up, my parents and family greatly emphasized the importance of our history here within America. Whether it was our immigration or how it took how hard it took for my mom to get into college, I think just taking in that history and our a love for our culture that has grounded us here in America greatly inspires me to run for this position and hopefully create that same environment where our bonds can strengthen and grow together.
For your next question, answer in 1 minute. Why do you believe that culture is one of the 4 pillars of our organization?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Answer in 1 minute. Why do you believe that culture is one of the 4 pillars of our organization?
If social is what brings us together as a community, culture is what defines it. As culture is the traditions, the beliefs that we hold together as a community, and greatly defines how we treat each other and how we act towards each other. So establishing a culture that celebrates believing next voices, a culture that celebrates inclusivity and diversity and history, greatly helps us as Akbayan is founded as a cultural organization. So it's important to highlight those aspects within our community in order to define a community where we feel involved and where we feel that we can grow and learn more about our own identities, as to know history, know yourself, and therefore love thyself. Because without that, can't really grow as people.
And for your next question, answer in 30 seconds. Without talking about your position, why do you want to be a cabinet member?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yes. Answer in 30 seconds. Without talking about your position, why do you want to be a cabinet member?
Coming here as my first year, I really didn't expect to join Akbayan. I thought I was retired. So it came to my surprise when I sort of accidentally joined all these programs, but really it helped me ignite the fire that I thought was lost and helped me recognize that I still love our culture, I still love our community, and I hope to serve it, as it's greatly a privilege to serve our community and help be a representative to lead and to really show how much love we have for this community that we built.
That concludes the debates for the cultural chair position.
Can we please have our community and political affairs chair candidate come to the front? Thank you. Do you need any clarifications on the instructions?
No, thank you.
With that, you can go ahead and start by introducing yourself, your name, pronouns, your age.
Hello, everyone. My name is Josh Navarro Ramirez. I'm a third-year sociology major with a minor in Asian American Studies, and I go by he, pronouns.
Thank you. For your first question, you have 30 seconds. As the Community and Political Affairs Chair, how do you plan to create, foster, and emphasize the community aspect of our organization?
So, as your potential co-chair, I would want to. Sorry, can you please repeat the question one more time?
Yes. Answer in 30 seconds. As the Community and Political Affairs Chair, how do you plan to create, foster, and emphasize the community aspect of our organization?
As your potential co-chair, I would want to emphasize the community aspect of our organization simply just by being there, by being a friendly face for everyone. Because it's really hard going to a new place, meeting new people,
and like feeling like as if you're I guess like an outsider. So being that friendly face that you first meet when you go to a workshop, go to an event, that's the really important.
Thank you. For the next question, you have 1 minute. What is rap to you? What is your vision for it? And how would you encourage participants to come out to it?
Rap to me is a way to introduce incoming students to Akbayan and like the Filipinx history in general. It's really hard to like I said before, put yourself forward and like get into that, especially in like such a new environment like college. So having rap as a way to pretty much like slowly like help anyone just like know more about their culture, know more about themselves too, is really important. And to like invite like people just in general, it's the most important thing.
Thank you. Answer in 30 seconds. As the Community and Political Affairs Chair, what do you believe is the importance of the demographic survey? And how will you promote this?
I believe the importance of the demographic survey is to get to know your community. Akbayan in general is such a diverse community with so many like different people that having a demographic survey will help to pretty much cater to what your community wants and what they want to see more in you. And sorry, what was the last part?
Yes, the last part was how will you promote it?
And I'll promote just by just talking about it, just by like asking people like, oh, like what are your values? Like what, you know.
Thank you. For your next question, you have 30 seconds. Do you believe the Akbayan community should be educated and aware of issues happening in different communities? Why or why not?
Yes, I do believe that the Akbayan community should know more going on just outside of our community. If you look historically, the Filipinx experience has always been shaped by other communities, whether it was African American community, or it's the Latinx community. All of our experiences all culminate together to where we are now. We wouldn't be even in this classroom without the civil rights movement or just any other community all coming together. We would not be here today without everyone working together.
Thank you. For your next question, you have 30 seconds. What are some ideas to get more community involvement within San Jose outside of the immediate Akbayan community?
Can you repeat the question one more time, please?
Answer in 30 seconds. What are some ideas to get more community involvement within San Jose outside of the immediate Akbayan community?
I think having events like open mic nights would be like a really good way to like get everyone involved, you know. With like Akbayan, it's really hard to draw in other people because we are a Filipinx organization. So having an open mic night that invites everyone from the San Jose community, I think would be a good way to just get more people involved and just to get to know the wider San Jose community.
Thank you. Answer in 30 seconds. If elected, what topics would you like to shed light on within your workshops and events?
If I were to be elected, I want to talk a lot about the current policies that are going on in the United States right now. So things like DEI, immigration, but also just the Filipinx experience in general. A lot of us, I feel, have gone through like things like imposter syndrome, not feeling as if we're enough because of like what we choose. And I would want to highlight that and like talk about that and tell everyone, you know, your experience is important.
Thank you. For your next question, you have 1 minute. How do you deal with conversations that are uncomfortable or intimidating? How will you create an environment for members to feel safe to have these tough conversations while also pushing them to have those conversations?
Personally, I invite the uncomfortable, the hard conversations because they're the conversations we need to have. It's never good to surround yourself with people who always agree with you. You should always try to strive for people that will challenge your ideas, people who will want you to talk. And simply put, in order to create that space, you need to create guidelines, you know, four walls, one mic, one voice, just so that everyone feels like that their opinion matters.
Thank you. For your next question, you have 30 seconds. Akbayan SJSU is a nonpartisan organization, but has made stances in the past on its own values. How do you plan to respond to any national or global issues that may arise during your term?
Can you please repeat the question?
Yes. Answer in 30 seconds. Akbayan SJSU is a nonpartisan organization, but has made stances in the past on its own values. How do you plan to respond to any national or global issues that may arise during your term?
I plan to respond to any national or global issues, particularly when I can see that the community is up in arms, when they have a strong voice, when they want to see change. Because COPO is, you're representing the community. So in general, just by seeing how the community reacts, seeing how much they feel about the situation, I would respond, I would react to that.
Thank you. For your next question, you have 1 minute. You want to take a stance on a social or political issue represented by Akbayan, where your cabinet believes it is too radical, controversial, or biased. How would you handle this conversation? Do you comply with your cabinet or push them to understand your reasoning?
Personally, I would want them to talk to me also. And also, I would want to push for that workshop, push for that conversation, and invite them to be a speaker at that workshop. Like I said, it's important to have the tough conversations, because if we don't have the tough conversations, progress isn't going to be made.
Thank you. For your next question, you have 1 minute. Why do you believe that community and politics is one of the 4 pillars of our organization?
I believe community and politics are one of the 4 pillars of our organization, because if you look historically, Filipinx have always been involved some way, somehow, in community and politics. Like I mentioned earlier, the Delano grape strike. If you see historically how Filipinx and Latinx work together, it's deeply ingrained in the Filipinx American experience.
Thank you. For your next question, you have 30 seconds. Without talking about this position, why do you want to be a cabinet member?
I want to be a cabinet member to be that friendly face. When I first came to San Jose State, I knew practically nobody. I came from Monterey. I didn't know a single soul here in San Jose. I wasn't sure if I was going to make friends. I wasn't sure if I was even going to be part of a big organization like this. But going to the info nights, meeting everyone, it gave me that opportunity to meet people. And I want to be that same person for everyone else, where they feel like they can talk to someone and they feel like they have a voice.
Thank you. With that, that concludes your Community and Political Affairs Chair candidates debate. Thank you. You may be seated.
May we have our candidate for secretary up to the front? Before you begin, do you need any clarification on the instructions?
No, thank you.
If not, we will begin the debate for the secretary position now. Please introduce yourself with name, pronouns, year, and major.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dale Cecido. I go by he, him pronouns. And I'm a third-year business administration major with a concentration in finance.
First question, answer in 30 seconds. What kind of resources will you utilize to keep yourself and cabinet accountable and organized?
Some resources that I'll use to keep cabinet members organized and other members is the Wellness Center, as well as tutoring, and also myself as a resource. As a member of e-board, it's important to be a backbone towards CAB members as well as other members as well.
For your next question, answer in 1 minute. As part of e-board, you play a supporting role. What does giving and receiving support look like for you?
To me, giving and receiving support is about reaching out and taking the initiative towards helping others and recognizing when they seem like they need help, and having faith that others will reciprocate that same feeling.
Your next question, answer in 30 seconds. You notice that cabinet members are sending in their room requests late, leading to a low pool of rooms to reserve for events and workshops. What is your next course of action?
This will be a topic that will be brought up within whatever said CAB meeting. I'll highlight that hosting these events, hosting these workshops are a privilege, and delaying it will only remove a safe space for the community, and more just have everyone be less engaged with each other.
Your next question, answer in 1 minute. It is known that the secretary takes notes, handles paperwork, makes and enforces rules for the cabinet to abide by. What will you do to make the role of the secretary more visible and active? Additionally, how will you expand the role?
One way I'll make the role stand out is just being myself and having the community be aware that I am, or as elected, I am the secretary, and just acknowledging what I do to help uplift this community and overall just like be a pillar that everyone can rely on.
For your next question, you have 1 minute. A member comes up to you and tells you about a cabinet member acting out inappropriately in a social setting. How do you address this? Do you believe that we have to uphold professionalism outside the cabinet settings? Why or why not?
Yes, as representatives of this organization, we have to hold a sense of professionalism even outside of AK spaces to an extent. And regarding if a CAB member is acting out of line, I would definitely go to talk to them, whether it be one-on-one or as a group confrontation, and just get the full story overall. And after assessing as many aspects of that story as possible, decide along with the rest of the people what would be the next course of action.
You. For your next question, answer in 30 seconds. Do you think the current professionalism guidelines for cabinet members are too strict? Why or why not?
I believe it is currently too strict, but however, that does not mean that you necessarily have to loosen it. I find it important to maintain a sense of identity, especially within your role. At least for me, it's important that I stay true to myself while also being able to hold these skills or be in that role. And overall, I think it takes true skill to gain the respect of the community while also being true to yourself.
For your next question, answer in 30 seconds. What is the connection between practicing inclusivity and professionalism?
Can you repeat the question?
Yes. Answer in 30 seconds. What is the connection between practicing inclusivity and professionalism?
The connection between the two is creating a space where everyone can feel welcome, and by using tactics like professionalism, we can hold ourselves accountable and also like uphold guidelines where everyone can feel a sense of welcomeness. But like I said, we can do that. We can use professionalism while also being true to ourselves as well.
For your next question, you have 30 seconds. Outside of maintaining professionalism, what are the other responsibilities of the secretary?
As you stated, some of the other responsibilities of secretary is note-taking, being a support for the rest of the cabinet, and booking rooms. Each of these are crucial for Akbayan as a whole. We need these spaces and we need the feedback from each event so we can constantly improve and grow more, not only as a community, as individuals as well.
Thank you. For your next question, answer in 30 seconds. A core member posts something that goes against their contract. How do you approach the situation?
Of course, with respect, we did go, or as a CAB members, we did go into our positions knowing what we're signing up for, and the contracts we will read once we accept these roles. We're still figureheads in an organization, and like stuff like posting or inappropriate posting is something that we should all acknowledge by now.
For your next question, answer in 1 minute. Knowing that eBoard is a very logistical and supportive board, what does being on eBoard mean to you?
Can you repeat the question?
Answer in 1 minute. Knowing that eBoard is a very logistical and supportive board, what does being on eBoard mean to you?
To me, being eBoard is being a support and being like the backbone for the rest of the cabinet. Whether this can be through a bunch of different means, whether it's emotional, physical, mental, or even just like helping out with the planning phases of their events. And to the extent of how much I can help, that's to be determined. Like, as much as I want to like get into like help out, of course there's restrictions such as pairing and how much I can personally be involved.
And for your next question, answer in 30 seconds. Without talking about your position, why do you want to be a cabinet member?
Going into SJSU and Akbayan, I knew nothing. I'm from San Diego, and going here, this was a place that was completely unfamiliar to me. In all honesty, I've never even been to San Jose up until now. And finding my identity and finding my place in this community helped really acknowledge who I am, and being a CAB member feels like the best way for me to give back to this community.
That concludes the debates for the secretary position.
Thank you. With that, we'll call our president candidate up to the front. Do you have any questions regarding instructions? Yeah. Thank you. You may now introduce yourself with your name, pronouns, year, and major.
Hi everyone, my name is Danielle Fortes. I'm a third-year criminology major with a minor in forensic science. I use she, her pronouns. Yes.
Thank you. For your first question, answer in 30 seconds. Seeing as the president and vice president positions work interchangeably, tell us why you didn't choose to run for the vice president position.
I decided to not run for the vice president position because assessing what I've done in my current term and assessing what the president and VP positions do, I tried to reflect back on what my intentions are and what I feel comes naturally to me. And what comes naturally to me is on the emotional side, which I feel like VP does a lot with, but I tend to enjoy doing a lot of logistical things, which the president does handle a lot. But VP is more of something that is too emotional to me to for.
Thank you. For your next question, you have 1 minute. Akbayan has been known to plan their events much in advance, giving them little room to collaborate with other organizations. What is your stance on collaborating with other organizations, and how do you plan on putting this stance into action if elected?
Can you repeat the question one more time?
Yes. Answer in 1 minute. Akbayan has been known to plan their events much in advance, giving them little room to collaborate with other organizations. What is your stance on collaborating with other organizations, and how do you plan on putting this stance into action if elected?
The importance of collaborating with external organizations of Akbayan and SJSU really puts our organization out there and offers the community more than just what we provide within Akbayan and SJSU. We do start planning our events much in advance. So for example, we start planning it in the summer or in the winter before the spring semester starts. So reaching out to certain organizations such as Lead Filipino and ahead of time, we can see where, for example, our programs, our pillars, what type of workshops they want to put out and see if there's any other external organizations that they want to collaborate with and work hand in hand to make these their visions and what they want with their position come to life early ahead of time. Because I have noticed within my term, there are a lot of organizations and workshops that have offered us to come join them, but due to our busy schedule, we weren't as flexible. So reaching out ahead of time is what I would want to implement if elected.
Thank you. For your next question, you have 30 seconds. In your experience with Akbayan, is there anything that you would seek to change, modify, or alter through the president position?
Can you repeat the question one more time, please?
Yes. Answer in 30 seconds. In your experience with Akbayan, is there anything that you would seek to change, modify, or alter through the president position?
If elected president, I've noticed that this organization, it wasn't the same as it was 5 or 10 years ago. I do think that as it is an opportunity to build on these foundations that are set before us, I think that our generation now, some traditions may not be sustainable, and we can see this through events such as AK Picnic and Filipinex and Hip Hop. These allowed a lot more community building compared to more lectured, when the community now really wants to just a social life and to bond with people within a community.
Thank you. For your next question, you have 1 minute. How do you plan on creating an environment of keeping your cabinet motivated, productive, and engaged, especially during more tiring periods of the year?
To keep my cabinet more motivated and engaged throughout the semester, as it is a lot of work, I want to emphasize and remind them why they wanted to join this cabinet in the first place. I want them to realize that all the hard work that they're putting in right now, it won't go unnoticed in the end. Even though people may not verbally say it, the people around them, when they come to the events, they feel a certain way when they leave these events. I want to let them know that in the end, what they're doing right now will make an impact overall.
Thank you. For your next question, you have 30 seconds. What is one thing you learned from your previous cabinet experience, and how will you apply what you learned to succeed in the president position?
Something I learned within my current position as secretary, and something I struggled with a lot in the beginning, is reaching out for help. I thought that during my secretary position, I needed to know everything just by myself, and if I didn't know it on my own, people would feel a certain way or look at me a certain way. But I learned to realize that I have a whole cabinet behind me to support me, and I don't go through this whole experience alone. We all go through this experience alone. We're the community that helps the community before us grow, and we cannot work as one unit if we don't communicate with one another.
Thank you. For your next question, answer in 30 seconds. How do you plan to utilize our advisor, Kuya Lester?
If elected as president, I plan to utilize Kuya Lester, as he is a professor within the psychology department. He can help a lot with anything mentally, as being in cabinet can be very mentally an overload mentally and physically. From prior experience, I've opened up to him as he joined one of our academies that the work did get a lot, and he was very understanding of it. So knowing that we have this resource and that we can talk to someone with this on a more higher level is how I plan to utilize him.
Thank you. For your next question, you have 30 seconds. Given the mental toll the president position will potentially take on you, how will you ensure to take care of your own well-being and other responsibilities while also taking care of everyone else who's around you?
Can you repeat the question one more time?
Yes. Answer in 30 seconds. Given the mental toll the president position will potentially take on you, how will you ensure to take care of your own well-being and other responsibilities while also taking care of everyone else who's around you?
I plan to take care of my own well-being. If elected as president, is realizing my own smoke signals and when I'm planning or feel like I'm gonna burn out, and communicating this to the rest of my potential cabinet. If they don't know what's happening internally with me, there's no way that our work around us could be done efficiently, and we don't want things to fall behind. So communicating with the rest of my cabinet and also seeing where they are within their position, if they're at the capacity to help, and see who is at the capacity to help.
Okay, thank you. For the next question, you have 30 seconds. How do you plan to uphold traditions or keep up with modern times within this potential term?
I plan on keeping up with traditions and keeping up with modern time, with overall assessing what happened, what went well, and what didn't went well in my current term, and overall utilizing the demographic surveys. Many people who join this organization, there are things that they want to see out of us, and what I've realized throughout this term, there's are things that work really well compared to others. So, for example, holding more social events to attract more new members and hopefully um, bring more attention to our other programs and pillars.
Thank you. For your next question, you have 1 minute. How do you define a successful cabinet?
I define a successful cabinet as looking at each individual and each cabinet member and seeing what impact and what legacy they want to leave when they leave this cabinet, and feeling if they fulfilled the potential mission or mantra statement that they'll make in the near future. If they feel like they've exemplified this and if they feel that they made the impact or reach any of their goals that they've set for themselves in the beginning of the term, I feel like that's what makes a successful cabinet.
Thank you. For your next question, answer in 1 minute. Knowing that e-board is a very logistical and supportive board, what does being on e-board mean to you?
Can you repeat the question one more time, please?
Yes. Answer in 1 minute. Knowing that e-board is a very logistical and supportive board, what does being on e-board mean to you?
What being on e-board means to me, it means showing up and showing out to the rest of my cabinet and even the community. I want to see my potential fellow cabinet members, if elected, succeed. I want to see them strive in the positions that they're in and within the community.
Thank you. For your next question, you have 30 seconds. Without talking about your position, why do you want to be a cabinet member again?
I chose to be a cabinet member again because the experience that being in cabinet right now has taught me a lot of life lessons that I've never have experienced ever before. And if elected as president to the potential cabinet, I want to give that same experience that I felt when I came into my first term. I want to have that feeling that I got, knowing that I won't ever get the same experience ever again, and this probably might be the last time I'll ever have something like this outside of college.
Thank you. That officially concludes your presidential candidates. Thank you so much. You may now be seated.
That officially concludes all of the debates for your candidates. Can we get one more round of applause for all of you? All debates will be available on the YouTube channel for anyone to watch and look up as we go into the rest of the election season. On Friday, we'll be having speeches from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. in SU Meeting Room 5 this Friday. And next week, candidates are tabling and the voting form will be released with results to be announced at end of the year banquet. With that, let's conclude the debate for today. We'll see you on Friday for speeches.